wish to support this very important bill, that is the bill of the National Assembly, number 50 of 2022. And I wish to thank Honorable Gathoni Wamuchomba, MP, Githunguri constituency, for coming up with this very, very important bill. Honorable Speaker, it's important for all of us to appreciate that old age is a blessing. Further to that, Honorable Speaker, every person who is born will one day grow old. And as we look at this bill, Honorable Speaker, it's important to think that we are not talking of people who are far away from us. We are also ending towards that age to be called elderly. Honorable Speaker, personally, I have no problem with the title, geriatric bill title, because this means it's a special area of medicine that focuses strictly on providing care for the unique health needs of older adults. It is good for all of us to appreciate, Honorable Speaker, that as we grow old, old age comes with its own unique challenges. And it is one thing to appreciate because, Honorable Speaker, if you grow old without health issues, then you must be very lucky. But in one way or the other, you need a lot of attention. Honorable Speaker, as I go deeper into this particular bill, I want to appreciate the government of Kenya, Kenya Kwanza government, because it is the responsibility of every responsible government to think of each and every citizen. And I want to appreciate the Kenya Kwanza government as put in measures already to start looking into the matters of elderly people. The government has initiated the healthcare workers, and the work of these healthcare workers is to go around the villages, and I'm sure the target of the healthcare workers is to actually attend to the elderly, because the young people can walk to the nearest health centers. Number two, I want to appreciate the government because Kenya Kwanza government has come out openly to increase the national NSSF, National Social Security Fund. Remember, for a long time, people used to contribute mega cents in form of old age or their retirement benefit. But today, the government has initiated the National Social Security Fund, which will ensure that every person who is retiring will be able to go home with something which is reasonable and something that can take care of their welfare. Honorable Speaker, but I am also equally disappointed because when we talk of the elderly people, especially people who have worked for this government responsibly, faithfully, and reaching the time of retirement, like the doctors, like other workers in the country, teachers, after retirement, Honorable Speaker, these people are languishing in upbeat poverty because their pensions never come on time. They keep on tamarking, waiting for them. Once they are out of the payroll, they don't know who to turn to. Honorable Speaker, I want to urge that this government should start hyping their game and taking care and appreciating people who have worked for the government tirelessly by rewarding them in a very timely manner. Having said that, Honorable Speaker, I want to say this particular bill is coming up to establish a council that will ensure efficiency in provision of services to the elderly. Honorable Speaker, it's good for all of us to note that families now are growing smaller. Our families are shrinking. Some years back, parents used to have 5 children, 6 children, and some would be stationed at home and they would oversee their parents at old age. But the families of these days, they are so small that you cannot you can't ensure that all your children stay at home to take care of you. So this council, Honorable Speaker, when established, it will have a responsibility of ensuring that they have a data and they know where each and every elderly person is and know even their needs. Honorable Speaker, this particular council will be also entitled to ensure that when money is disbursed to the elderly, unlike today, where every person who is the people who are in charge of this elderly cash transfer, we don't know if the money reaches the right people. But when we have a council which is in place, there will be mechanism to ensure that even if the government is giving stipend to these elderly people, this money will be able to reach them on time. Honorable Speaker, it is important for all of us also to understand that this bill, if it goes through, we must have a funding. Because, Honorable Speaker, there is no way we can have taking care of the elderly when we don't have adequate funding for them. And this adequate funding will ensure that we not only accommodate the elderly in very special homes, keeping them, we also are able to provide nutrition, proper nutrition for them, Honorable Speaker. Because if we go to the families of the elderly people, you realize most of them are not sick. Most of them are lacking proper nutrition. And this proper nutrition can only be provided for by the government. And this is where we have made a mistake of assuming that old people can be able to go source for their own food. So if we can get a mechanism and a way of ensuring that...
What is out of order, Honorable KJ?
Madam Speaker, it is not in my interest to interrupt my teacher, the Honorable Ikiara. However, Madam Speaker, I want to know if I would be in order. Noting the journey that this bill has gone through, this bill was actually introduced in the last session, in the last parliament, Madam Speaker. And I'm seeing a golden opportunity this afternoon for us to be able to finalize on this bill so that it can be proceeded to the next stage. And Madam Speaker, I know there is a lot of interest to speak, but listening to the House all this morning and even up to now, I can tell there is great support for the bill. And I'm sure even members will be keen for it to proceed into the third reading so that we can be able to expand with this business so that the implementation starts soon as possible. So, Madam Speaker, I wanted to know if I would be in order to invoke Standing Order 95 so that we take this beautiful opportunity to have the mover reply so that we can proceed to the next level, other than postpone this business to a later session when we don't know if this bill will be concluded. And Madam Speaker, I would invoke if you would agree with me, I would ask the mover to also be magnanimous to donate a few minutes to the members who had shown great interest to speak as she is replying, but we can take advantage of this opportunity we have to move this bill forward. Madam Speaker, that is the point I wanted to raise.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kerry. What you are saying is quite in order. I will be calling upon the mover to reply at some point, and I hope you'll be magnanimous to share the minutes that you have for replying to the many members on the screen who would like to make a comment. But for now, I'll give you a minute. You had 1 minute left. Make it 1 minute. Conclude. From there, I would give this opportunity to the Honorable Kengamupe after...
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As I conclude, Madam Speaker, I want to say funding through the years has been inadequate and it has not been sufficient enough to accommodate all our elderly people. And with the council coming in, we shall have proper figures of how many elderly people we have, and this will enable the government to fully support and take care of our elderly people. Madam Speaker, I also want to say, with the government affordable housing, even our elderly people who have nowhere to stay, because we know the basic needs in life are food, clothing, and shelter, we can be able to accommodate them somewhere so that the government can take care of them from a central area. Honorable Speaker, I want to urge Madam.
No, I just realized that the Honorable KG has also lost his opportunity to speak.